The idea behind this video started when I wanted to investigate how many hackers are there? How do they operate? What motivates them? But the video evolved into something a little different. My God, I cannot believe I got in the same raid with him. I got a message from Evoker. He's a hacker, and he agreed to do some interviews with me. And I told him about a buddy I thought was hacking, and he just happened to get into a raid with him randomly. So you're the white one, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. He's definitely scanning this way. You see this? And now he chooses to leave.
Leaving dorms now?
He's leaving. He's leaving on the hills.
I mean, you can just tell me what to do and I'll probably do it. Like, if you just want to, like...
maybe just follow him out. He's going to Stronghold. Is the power on?
Yep.
He's going to leave. He's going to leave. He's gone.
There's a boar in the middle of that. How about that? Look at y'all.
I need to text my friend Clara right now.
So I cheated in random games on trust.com.
So we're going to go over a few ground rules. Number one, I'm going to keep everybody involved in this anonymous. And I know many of you would like to have anybody involved with hacking to have their proverbial head on a pike. That's not what this video is about. This video is about enacting meaningful change, challenging the majority consensus on the state of hacking in Escape from Tarkov and gaming as a whole. And lastly, I don't want to encourage the idea that cheating is way more rampant than it actually is, or that there's really no solution to the problem. And with that in mind, let's continue. He's in the raid with...
What?
I think he's cheating.
Is cheating?
So like I said, I started a video a few months ago about the hacking community. And during this process, I came to the realization that one of my friends, a Discord mod, a trusted Twitch moderator in my community, was likely cheating. And so I thought, how can I find something that's 100% proof? What can I do? I've been making this video about hacking, and I had sent messages out to hackers, and one of them was Evoker.
Yola.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Meet Raffle. He's the hacker in the previous clip who killed me. He's an interesting character, but he's not going to be much use to us. Everything he says is a lie. So I just thought I'd pick your brain a little bit if that's all right.
I'm gonna pick my brain. Okay, go for it.
How easy is it right now to get the software and everything?
Software? What? What are you talking about?
What software?
He's cheating.
What?
What?
Meet Evoker. He's a careful hacker, and while I don't approve of his cheating, he's been the most reasonable and honest hacker I've ever run into. That's after he's done covering for his buddy.
Yeah, this is my third account I'm getting the Kappa. I've already gone to Kappa this wipe.
Eventually, after about 30 to 45 minutes of back and forth, I gained their trust, and they opened up to me about what they're up to. What would you say is the safest map, the map that you just hate going to? It's like a waste of your time.
Wood.
I mean, woods?
Yep.
Because just the average gear is so low, or there's just not a lot of good stuff on there, or what?
Just like noobs play it.
The hackers that you run into, do you see any discrepancy between white name, EOD level? Is there anything?
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I figured too.
There are, in an average lobby, like, there's only like one normal account and the rest are EODs, and if they're a cheater, they're most likely EOD.
And I started watching their group play, and this is what it looks like. They have a separate map running on another computer that shows them what's going on. This was the map I was watching when Evoker was tracking down my friend in that raid earlier. We came up with a plan to stalk my friend and collect the evidence we needed.
I can play with you guys and I'll be able to tell by his movements and how he reacts to players if he's cheating or not.
Dude, I'll promise you this. I promise you, he is probably not hacking, because coding cheats in video games is very niche. You can't just Google how to code a cheat in a video game.
Now you might be asking, why am I trying so hard to catch my friend cheating? Because he wasn't just my moderator. I put him in charge with communicating with people who joined my Discord. And not just anyone. I had specifically put him in charge to talk to people who were banned. And why were people joining my Discord who were banned? Let's do a quick recap of what happened last year. The sponsor of today's video is me.
Like and subscribe to be notified of new content.
I read every comment. I appreciate your support. Now let's get back to the video. Let's do a quick recap of what happened in the past. During the 12-12 wipe in 2021, the Escape from Tarkov game wiped everyone's account and launched a big patch. During that update, they added additional anti-cheat measures. One of those measures added the serial numbers of motherboards to the list of hardware bans. This is a good thing. But unfortunately, a handful of motherboards did not report unique serial numbers. Anyone with this motherboard got a ban. I established a contact with the BSG employee, and long story short, we got thousands of accounts unbanned. People heard about this, and ever since, I get people trying to contact me to help them get unbanned. Unbeknownst to me at the time, I had a hacker as the team lead running intel on the whole thing. Before we get too much into this, let's just first talk about how cheats work. And this is going to get a bit technical, and if you already know all this stuff, just hang in with me for a few minutes. So to make sure that we're all on the same page, we're going to learn how a computer works with one of my favorite analogies. So the first thing to understand is that a motherboard and a computer connects everything together. So you can think of the motherboard as the support structures. So the legs, even the chair, and even the floor. And then you have your hard drive. And you can think of the hard drive as anything that you can put on your desk. If you want a bigger hard drive, you could install a bookshelf underneath. This also could be considered a hard drive down here, this little storage rack right here. And then there's the RAM, okay? The RAM is like your hands, okay? Your hands are RAM. What the hands do is they hold stuff, and they allow you to work on only a few things at one time. And this is an important knowledge milestone that we must understand. And then you have your CPU, and your CPU does all of the work. It's the central processing unit. He does all the thinking, and he uses the hands to do all the work. And when you're playing a video game, all of the information, all of the data about the locations of everyone on the map, what they're doing, where they're going, how much health they have, where items are, is eventually going to, at one point, pass through, you guessed it, the RAM. It's going to pass through the RAM. And what if you could access this information on your computer undetected? Let me introduce you to DMA devices. They're direct memory access devices. And what they do is they allow you to access the memory and send that information over to another computer. And not only can you access the memory, but you can alter and change the memory and what is going on your computer. It's this guy right here. It's a small chip that goes into the PCI slot of a motherboard. So what the hacker will do is they'll take their gaming computer, or in reality it's much smaller than this, they'll take the DMA device and they will plug it into their gaming computer. What this DMA device does is it will directly access the memory without using any software, without any program running on the actual computer. And then what the hacker will do is use a separate computer. And it doesn't even have to be anything fancy. It could just be like a Raspberry Pi or something like that. And they will connect their computer to the DMA device. The important takeaway here is that the hacking software is not running on the gaming computer. The cheating software is running on the second computer. The hacking software has the ability to change and view the memory in real time. And the question you might have is, how do some hackers get caught? You can actually get caught using one of these DMA devices or something that's running on another computer. You get caught when you utilize a feature that is detected. And this is not exclusive to Escape from Tarkov. This works in Counter-Strike and other games as well. And shout out to Sparkles. He interviewed a Counter-Strike cheat developer and explained how a crouch spam feature got detected one time.
Got once detected.
Okay.
You can see it on the forum right now. It's on the menu. Not detected itself, you know. It's just a feature. It was the infinite duck. You know when you're like ducking fast and up?
Yeah. So there's no cooldown.
Yeah, no cooldown.
Infinite.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was detected one time. It was like 1 or 2 years ago.
Just a little feature of it. Okay.
Yeah, just a little feature.
And there are loads of examples of this. Most of these guys run around with unlimited sprint bars, unlimited stamina, no recoil, a lot of other things. But if someone's reasonably careful, they don't use aimbot, they don't use a lot of these features that can be detected, how can you catch them? If you've ever played Escape from Tarkov, I'm sitting in a really odd spot right now. It's not impossible for someone to spot me. What? But it's highly unlikely that getting shot from that direction was legit. Because I'm curious and I'm a glutton for punishment, I enter the area to see if my suspicion can be confirmed. As I run closer, I hear other players die left and right. This guy is rage hacking. I run up on another player and use proximity chat to see if the guy wants some help. He confuses me for the hacker. Buddy, you want to team up?
No, buddy, you're cheating.
No. That's not me shooting at you. That's somebody else.
I'm a goner. I'm done.
Oh, no. I run up to loot the bodies. The guy had a thermal on him. I try to get as much of their stuff as quickly as I can, but the hacker is able to chase me down and run right to my location. My only defense is a good grenade here, but the hacker head eyes me through bushes. So here's another example. I spotted this guy above the ground and he had some of the worst player movement I've seen in a long time. He instantly tracked me as he stepped out into an open area, and I suspected he was cheating. And like the good investigator that I am, I had to test my theory out. I started recording and silently walked down to where he was. Bullshit. So why do I know with near 100% certainty that this player is cheating, but the anti-software in the game doesn't? To answer that question, we're going to watch how the Counter-Strike community detects cheaters. They use a system called OverWatch, where reputable members of the community earn the right to spectate game footage from players who were reported for cheating. This is nothing. He was one of my favorite professional Counter-Strike players back in the day. Watch as he uses his game sense and understanding to decipher if a player is legit or not.
So far we have the suspect. Good pre-aim.
And just for clarification, nothing is watching a demo of the match. This allows him to have ESP, meaning he sees the suspect's enemies through the map. This helps him see if the suspect is actually tracking people through walls.
Alright. Wait a sec. He's doing a good job of not knowing, like looking. Is that a little aim assist? I don't know. Oh. Looks like a little bit of correction happening in this costume, but I can't tell yet. So, like, this is the thing, right? He's got a skin. You don't know. The key with this stuff is watch a couple rounds and not going into it with too strong of a bias. Like, oh wait, B-hop script? Okay, he doesn't give up anymore, dude. I was having fun. Yes. Insufficient evidence.
Tarkov doesn't have Overwatch. And I can't review RAS footage, but I did have a Voker who could join the same raid we were in and give me the next best thing. And even though I had all of the evidence that I needed, I wanted to be 100% sure that he was cheating. It was time to see what would happen when a Voker joined the same raid. It would be too obvious if he was in our party, so I hosted the group, told Evoker what servers I was on, and we both looked for the raid at the same time. After a few tries, we got into the same raid. And what do you know? Oh shit. I died about 2 minutes into the raid. It turns out it was our only shot because had to go. But I hopped into a private channel with Evoker and we discussed the raid.
No, he's 100% cheating. Just alone by the stats, you can have an 8 PMC KD at level 61 and not cheating. You're 100% cheating.
Remember how the DMA devices work? When Evoker finally got into the same raid as us, he was able to pull all the information, including the stats, off of account. He sent it to me in the screenshot over Discord.
Rengar has a 10 KD. Yeah, World's First Gappy, and he's a 10 flat 10 KD and like a 2.3 PMC. I have Rengar's dog tag actually. I killed him yesterday. 8 PMC KD? That's you're cheating. And any sort of risk instantly flicks to whatever target's opposing him in 1 or 2 bullets and they're dealt with. That's what I saw.
Yeah. What I'll say about is he's smart enough to not do like the most crazy blatant stuff.
Yeah. Well, his stats are just a giveaway.
He knows he can hide the stats from me, but he can't hide the stats from you.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that I can't see his stats. But what I'll tell you is I have my own internal clock. And dude, I've been playing with for a while, and I can't remember one example where he died after I died.
Yeah, that's a giveaway, man.
Like anytime I die, because I'm not watching, I'm not there, he just cleans up and kills everybody no matter what. And I'm like, dude, you have to eventually run into like a hacker or somebody who's just gonna kill you, like no matter what, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. We're like, oh, where was that guy?
He also he always wears like Rise tees and stuff, and it's like, but he has
a hacker uniform.
He has great awareness no matter what, because he doesn't care about sound. Like he's fine, right? And
they're gonna argue my perception skill's high enough. Like perception doesn't just annihilate the fact that Rich T distorts your sound. Like I don't understand why people say that.
His communication is garbage, right? Like he never says,
calms. He didn't calm at all. I was trying to like calm just because like that's what you do.
He doesn't play like a normal player. Like he doesn't.
He doesn't because he's cheating.
Here's the thing: for him to play that well, he's in the top like thousands of a % of the player base. Like,
oh, dude,
you know,
his stats are better than Landmarks and Rangar's combined.
Yeah,
he has cheater stats. Those are cheater stats.
He has more than cheater stats, right?
Yeah.
Those are rage hacker his game sense and knowledge, like, yeah, he like kills people and he's effective and all that, but like how he actually plays is not good. Like he doesn't do anything.
That's actually insane because he was kind of closet, and like for a closet cheater to have these stats, That's insane. He doesn't die.
I know this is kind of lame, but I want something that's like undeniable.
Yeah, if you want more proof, but like,
yeah,
you can't get undeniable proof in this game since there's no spectating.
And Evoker was right. There was never going to be this single piece of evidence that I could point to confirm that he was cheating. So I finally just confronted him, and he admitted to cheating. And now I knew. And my fear of him accusing me of a false accusation was squelched. I was standing right here in this spot in my kitchen when I first found out that was 100% cheating. It was a Sunday, I was making food, and I got the message from Evoker that he was in the right with him. And I saw that and my heart sunk. And every time I go into the kitchen, this great sense of trauma, depression, anxiety. Okay, that last part is not true. We all know what it's like to die to a hacker, especially in a game like Escape from Tarkov, where you might play for 45 minutes, getting task items and accomplishing a lot of important things in the game, and to have it just stolen from you, it just feels terrible. But what about the effects of finding out that your friend was cheating, or having played with a cheater for a long period of time? Did tell me that when he first started cheating, the justification was to help his friends out. So I wanted to investigate this idea a little bit further. So I interviewed a few of his friends who I know have played with him a lot. Was it a net benefit having him on your team cheating and looking out for you?
I'm going to just flat out, simple answer is no, and here's why.
This is Atomic Logic, and if you've watched my YouTube shorts or TikToks, you've seen this guy.
You go into it and a new player to any game is going to look at an experienced player and want to try to mirror them and reflect them. Okay, I'm the new guy. Here's a guy who's quote unquote experienced. I need to be just like him. So you start, following their patterns, following their play style. And when you find that you've been playing the game for 6-7 months and you still haven't learned anything about the game, you're still losing every fight, you start to question whether you're even good enough to play that game, right? So it gets you very disheartened to want to even continue trying to get good at the game, because in your own personal opinion on your own skill set, you're like, maybe I'm just not cut out for this because I'm not getting the same results as that person even 6 months later.
Like, I was getting a lot more money with him there. It almost felt like easy mode.
This is my friend Fluffy, and he has a somewhat different perspective on the matter.
He knows where to go, so he'd probably tell you, like, hey, loop around this way. And you'd be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, I'll do that. You'd always be in a good position. It would always be a controlled environment.
It made me not want to play with that person just because I knew that there was never going to be a chance that like I was the better player, I got the better gear, or I got the better kill, because I always knew going into a match with that person, I was the lesser of the two. Because friendly competition between your peers is very normal, and it's what strives to make games better, especially these co-op survival games, right? You want to be the guy that got more gear, better kills. But with this person, no matter what you did, no matter how much of a sweat you were, no matter how much you played it safe, whatever you did, you were literally always second best.
Have you thought about whether you would play with somebody who's cheated in the past?
Like, you start to look more closely at what they're doing, The trust isn't like completely there, and you have to kind of like build that stuff back up, kind of like a relationship, quote unquote. But at the end of the day, if he's a nice guy, he's a nice guy. And that's perfectly fine with me.
Oh no. But the larger question was still unanswered. Why cheat? Rather than looking at like motivations such as real money trading or ego or trying to promote your stream, because when it comes down to it, everybody wants to win. Everybody has those same goals in a game. They want to be on top. They want to win. The difference between a normal person, a legit player, and a cheater has two attributes that a normal player does not have. And the first one being the desire to cheat. There's not like a human being behind this thing. It's just like, I feel like I'm talking to somebody who's like, almost like Siri, they're just like, that does not comply. You're just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Because in Counter-Strike, it's a very weird phenomenon. People in Counter-Strike that cheat, they talk in a different manner. Like they have like a weird like HVH, they have a weird dialect, cheating dialect. It's kind of weird, but it's definitely a thing. People that cheat for a long time, they definitely talk different.
Just like the kind of words they use, or the kind of like what do you mean,
Just their mannerisms and the way they speak and the way they like there's one time it just stands out to me. This guy was cheating and he wasn't like being blatant with it, but I'm like, this guy's probably cheating, and I started talking to him and he talked like a cheater. I'm like, yeah, just that way he's talking, like I knew, and then I added him, and then he was cheating. He confessed after the game.
And when I say that cheaters have a desire, I don't mean that they have the same desire to win and be the best that nearly all gamers have. They have a deep insecurity stemming from a childhood dysfunction, trauma, or some kind of personality disorder. Do you remember Raffle? Listen to the way he deflects my questions. He's a very insecure person.
If I was hacking, I would tell you, because I don't give a fuck, because I am the boss.
I later realized that he worked in construction.
There's this idea that you get to pretend like you're a landmark, and you get to have that dopamine hit. How much do you pay for the software?
I don't pay. I am a coder. I'm a software engineer.
Okay.
In reality, let me tell this to you. I got my master's degree in computer science, right? And I got my minor in quantum physics. I don't really need the money. This is like a side hobby that I do for fun because I like to learn. You understand that?
There's nothing wrong with working in construction. Hell, I worked a blue-collar firefighter job for over 10 years. The world needs to get built, stuff needs to get done. But for whatever reason, he's insecure about that. And even in an alternative universe where he magically knows how to code cheats, cheating in video games doesn't expand your knowledge about the world. The second attribute is the capacity to cheat. I asked Evoker why he wouldn't consider playing legit.
I don't know. I'm playing video game. I'm wasting time. But that's just what I'm doing here. But if I'm playing legit and I'm playing this raid and I die at the very end or something, it's just like, what was even the point of playing that raid if I just played for 30 minutes and dying at the very end? And I just don't want to deal with any of that. Or dying by like some extra camper or some guy sitting in a tree. I can't be asked to deal with that.
Notice how he talks about cheating in the same way that you would talk about putting on a jacket when it's cold. Like, obviously, you would just put on a jacket when it's cold, as if there's like no effects on anyone else. There's no acknowledgement that in order to cheat and play the game the way that he wants to, will inevitably ruin the experience of everyone around him. Or it will create the same experience that he is trying to avoid. And now that the dust is settled and this cheating scandal has been dealt with, should I continue to play games like Escape from Tarkov knowing what I know now, knowing that there will be cheaters in raids in the future and I will die to them and not a whole lot will be done about it? And the truth is, as technology gets better and better, cheating is going to get easier and easier. Take a look at this. Kamal Carter created an aimbot that tracks video using a webcam and physically controls the mouse. It's completely undetectable from a software perspective. Is there a solution? Is this the death of first-person shooters as we know it? It's easy to confuse the forest for the trees. We would like to hold every individual 100% accountable, and I don't want to diminish the responsibility. Everybody who cheats or distributes cheats is responsible for what they're doing. But I lock my door at night, and I don't leave an expensive watch sitting on the table when I'm at a hotel and I know room service is going to be in to clean the room. Security isn't free. And as time moves forward, anti-cheat measures are going to consume more money and more time of developers. Developers need to have some kind of human interaction, some kind of human element to combat cheating. It's the only way forward. Software detection is a pipe dream. Perhaps we will have AI algorithms that look at gameplay and look at stats to help filter through the vast amount of reports so that humans can take a look. And I don't think anyone truly knows how many cheaters are out there or ever will. But that doesn't mean you can't get good at spotting cheaters and that you can't find some of them or at least level the playing field. It just means that if someone wants to hide their cheats and they don't want you to know that they're cheating, you can't know. But if games like Escape from Tarkov had an OverWatch style system of anti-cheat, at least the hackers would be forced to play in a way that normal players play. And if a cheater had to mask his gameplay to look like a legit player, would a player like myself who's legit, would my experience of dying to a cheater feel better? Hey there, thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you like this content, one of the best ways to communicate that is to subscribe to be notified of future content. Leave a comment, give me some feedback, negative or positive. I'm also gonna leave some information in the description box of like ways that you can help. For instance, I would really like to get my Discord boosted so when I do interviews and other recordings, I can actually record in 1080p and I'm not stuck to like a lower standard in my Discord. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.